Hi everyone, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm here on a Tuesday to make a wreath. And before I go any further, I'm just going to take my glasses off because I'm facing a window and all you can see is the glare from the window in my glasses. But anyway, we're going to be making a fall deco poly burlap wreath today, a fall flower wreath from poly burlap. Now, I'm going to be doing some of it downstairs and probably some of it upstairs because it's really exceedingly hot down there, and I know I have to go down there to do the cutting of the burlap, poly burlap, and we'll get started, and then probably if it gets too warm, I'll be upstairs. But I think you'll be able to follow along just fine. I will give you the numbers of all of the products I'm using, and we'll get busy making a poly burlap fall flower. I hope you'll subscribe. Hit that bell and give me a like and a comment. That would be very much appreciated. I love doing these things with you, and I hope we can continue. So give me a second. I'll get situated downstairs and we'll cut some mesh. Well, we won't cut it, we'll burn it. Now, I'm going to be using the wood burner, so I'm wearing a mask. I have an air conditioner and 2 fans going. So when I go to edit this later, if it is too loud, I will just do a voiceover. But if you hear a little noise in the background, that's what it is you're hearing. So give me a second and I'll be back downstairs. And we'll get busy making a poly burlap fall flower. Back in a bit. Okay, I'm going to cut 10 of the brown. And I have my mark here that shows me where the 10-inch line is. And we're just going to follow a strip. I'm wearing a mask, so I may have to do a voiceover. There we go. Alright, let me get the rest of these. I've got 4, I gotta get 6 more. Okay, here is that fall plaid that I'm going to use. Isn't that pretty, huh? Has orange and browns and cream. 2 shades of orange, really. And that came from Craft Outlet. And the item number is RP8142. RP8142. Now I'm going to need 20 of these. And I'm just going to start by turning my gun back on. I'm going to start by just evening off the end of it here before we start. As soon as they heat up, I'll be right back. I think I'm hot now. That was almost a little uneven. I'll tell you what, my mask got in the way. I couldn't see what I was cutting. And I checked the label. This is 10 inches, so I'm cutting these at 10 inches. Remember when I did the haul, I told you to always check to make sure they're 10 inches versus 10 and a half if you're trying to make a square, which is what I'm doing. Okay, you get the idea? I'll be back when I'm finished and we go on to the next part. Okay, here's the next part of our little project. This is a 10-inch box wire wreath. I got this from Craft Outlet quite a while ago, and I don't know that it has an item number on it. What I have done, as you see on here, this is a plastic canvas. I have just put this down and traced around the outside of this inner circle, okay? Now I'm going to cut it out and we'll attach it to the back of this frame. And I could have placed it a little better so I could get two out of here, but oh well. And this plastic canvas you get, or I got, at Hobby Lobby in the embroidery section. Now the holes in this one are smaller than is recommended, which is fine. I have zip ties that will work in it, but you want to make your life a little easier, get a bigger one. Let me see if I have a size on this. Might have, oh yes, I might, yep. This is 7 mesh. I think it's recommended that you use a 9. It just makes it easier to get zip ties that will go through the holes, because you need to use those holes. Okay? The SKU number on here is 93432 36002-6. I don't see another number. 93432 36002-6. And this is a 10-inch box wire wreath form. It has 5 crossbars, okay? So now we're going to turn this over and just attach that to the back of this form. And after I do that, here is my center. This also came from Craft Outlet, but I thought it looked more like a fall flower center. And this is called the Sunflower Center, MG102. MG102. But it's not that bright yellow, it's more of a fall colors. and it will look nice with this mesh. So that will be the center. So I'm going to get this attached, and then we'll start making our petals. And I'm probably going to do this upstairs because it's really incredibly hot down here, and it gets a little overpowering after a while. I should have started my air conditioner a little earlier than I did. So let me get this attached and I'll show you how that looks, and we'll get busy making our flower petals. Back in a couple. Okay, I'm starting down here. I've got a couple of them, and I will show you what it is I'm doing. These are the leaves. Let me just get this one attached. And I have it on backwards. And you, like I said, you want to try to remember to put these on before you get your leaf made, because it's a lot to try to do while holding this leaf. Okay? Here's how I make the leaf. I have good side, good side. In other words, finished edge, finished edge. I'm just going to ravel up from corner to corner, hold it, bend it up, and I put one a little bit over the other, and you'll see a pretty leaf. And like I said, put the zip tie on before you start making your leaf. Make life easier for yourself. And if you get one on that seems to really be going wonky, like totally to the side, you just put another zip tie on going in the opposite direction. Okay, one more here. Finished edge, finished edge. Bend it up. Pinch it together. Give it a little shake. And of course your zip tie is already on, right? Alright. Now what I'm going to do on the same row, I'm going to put one in between each one of these. So there's a total of 10 on the bottom section. Second bar. Tie is in. Corner to corner. Hold it, bend it up a little. And you can see that fills in nicely. Very pretty. All right, let me finish going around the bottom and I'll be back. Okay, now we're going to make the petals, and I'm making one in between each one of these. Here's how you make it. Finished edge, corner to corner. Okay, now I'm going to fold this under just a little bit, and I'm just going to gather this up while I'm kind of pulling out on this point. And then when I get to this end, I'm just going to fold this under a little bit too. So then I have this pretty leaf, see? Isn't that pretty? Finished edge, corner to corner. I'm going to fold this under just a little, gather it up. And fold this under just a little, finish the gathering. Let's do another one. Nope, I don't like the way that one came out. Let me try gathering the other direction, because I am left-handed and I might find it easier. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay, let me continue with a few more. Okay, I hope you can see this well enough. I had to bring it upstairs. It just got too incredibly hot down there. So let's make a couple more of these petals. Good side. Where am I? Okay, good side, good side. I'm going to make a diamond corner to corner. Trying to keep it as even as possible. Okay, now I'm going to gather it with my left hand because I'm left-handed. I'm just going to take this corner here, fold it under just a little bit. Then I'm going to start to gather. We're giving a little tug on the point. Okay? When I get to the other end, I'm just going to fold that one under just a little bit. And there's my petal. And I didn't put my zip tie on. Of course I didn't. Right in between the two brown ones. So there will be 10 on this layer. There were 10 on the first layer, and now one in between each one of them is another 10. Let's do that again. Corner to corner. Fold this under just a little. Gather it up, but I'm pulling with my right hand just to give a little shape to that petal. And when I get to the other side, I'm just going to pull that under and pinch it together. And get my zip tie on. I should have done it ahead of time. Here we go. It's pretty colors, isn't it, huh? Zip tie going on. Ha ha. Corner to corner. Fold under this point. Gather it up, giving a little tug on the point of your leaf or petal. When I get to the other end, I'm going to roll this under. And put it in the zip tie. Which I put on ahead of time in the wrong direction. And then just shape it out a little bit. Okay, we're almost around here. We've got 2 more, I think. This is why you want to make sure you get them as close to being in a square as possible, so that when you make this triangle, it has they match up with each other. I mean, if it's a tiny bit off, it's not going to affect much because you'll have it all pinched together. And sometimes you see that leaf wants to go up. Just put your fingers underneath it and shape it down. One more. And there you go. Look at that. Okay, we have one more row to do, but we've run out of wires. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in between each of these orange ones again, but we're going to do it on the mesh. So I'm going to go down. See, here's the two orange. I'm going to go in between, probably about 3/4 of an inch out. Leave a couple of holes and put a zip tie in. Let's see how that works. Whoops. You can do it either way, but it's easier for me to do it this way because I'm left-handed. In some ways, it's easier when you get to this part because the zip tie, once it's in, it doesn't move all over the place like it can when it's on the bar. All right, now I'm going to go in between these two. And the object is just to get in there. And this last row of petals is going to cover all that mechanism of all the other pieces that are below it. Fold it under, up, Isn't that pretty? Look how that's coming. As I mentioned earlier, this mesh, the holes are smaller, but my particular zip ties, I like these a lot. I get them at Amazon. They are, let me see what it says. Nylon cable tie. They're 3 times 150 millimeters. And this is at Amazon, and it is 1,000 pieces, and it's B09H5LHW78. B09H5LHW78. And they're 6 inches long, which is plenty long enough for this. Oh, I've already got one. All right, let me continue going around. You don't have to watch me do every one of these. And I'll be back when I'm getting closer to the end. We'll see what it looks like. Back in a bit. There you go. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And I love the center. It's perfect for a fall wreath. That's a pretty wreath. It'll be good on a door. It'll be great as a wall hanging. I'm probably going to use it as a wall hanging. Although I do have a friend who really loves this kind of wreath. So if she's interested, I may give her the fall one. It was kind of fun to make. We haven't made a flower in a while. So it took 20 of the plaid panels, 10 of the brown. The brown was some leftover, so I didn't have to buy a new one for that. And I bought 1 roll of the plaid, and I still have some left of that. And the center. And the form. And everything came from Craft Outlet. And I've given you the numbers on everything. So enjoy. Put one of these together and enjoy it. It's really pretty. I love the colors. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll be notified when I come out. It'll be again on Friday. And I can't remember what I'm doing on Friday. I've got it written down. I think we're doing the lantern that, the one we made, that still has an Easter rabbit in it, so I think I better do something about that. So until then, I hope you all have a great holiday weekend. Oh no, when you're seeing this, the holiday weekend's already over. Oh well, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. And I will see you again on Friday. And until then, everybody play nice now. Love ya. Bye-bye.